Westside Gunn is a rapper with the best ad-libs in the game. Argue with your mama. He is also the author of some of the most inspirational lyrics of all time, such as, "You ever cook half a brick in the air fryer?" Or, "Hey yo, you ever eat burgers on a Wednesday? You ever eat chicken on a Thursday?" As a law-abiding citizen, me listening to it is the funniest thing ever. Like, no bro, I have never flipped a kangaroo for 6 bricks on the black market while wearing a mink coat with 200 bands on my person. I don't even go outside, bro. Wes is signed to Griselda alongside the likes of Benny the Butcher, Stove God Cooks, Boldy James, Conway the Machine, and so many others that deserve to be named that I just won't name here because I'm lazy. My personal favorite Wes song has gotta be Mama's Primetime. Holy JID verse. Deadass one of my favorite verses ever and one of the greatest features my ears have ever been blessed by. Anywho, this is a wrestling channel, and nothing more, ran by a white kid with a fascination of baseless comparisons, wrestling, and hip-hop, so this is obviously going to turn into a wrestling video, and you clicked on it because it has wrestling in the title, so let me stop stalling for time, and tell you how these two come together. See, Mr. Gunn here is an avid wrestling fan. A huge wrestling fan at that. He's been at a whole shit ton of wrestling shows and has even performed some entrances. Mr. Gunn is known to include bars referencing wrestlers or wrestling events, and also name songs or albums after them. Tracks like Finn Balor, WrestleMania 20, and albums such as Hall and Nash with Khan are the first to come to mind. See, Wes is what we call a mark, just like all of us. And what happens when you give a mark some cash? The mark may or may not start up a wrestling promotion. Ha 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 ha, I'm so good at segueing. Today we are going to be discussing the wrestling promotion overseen and owned by the great Westside Gunn. And we're gonna do a calm little deep dive into the such. Hey yo! Boom 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 boom! Please don't turn this into a mid-roll ad, YouTube. Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are once again back in action. I hope that each and every one of y'all watching this video are having an absolutely blessed day, and I hope that I can continue to build upon that day. Tee me up right quick, cause we finna talk about Westside Gunn's wrestling promotion, Fourth Rope. And I'm finna use so many free Westside Gunn type beats in the background of this video, bro. It's finna be magical. I be having trouble picking out my background music for certain videos, and I don't think anything else would fit this video other than those. Anywho, we have a lot to talk about here today, so I'm gonna stop stalling here, and I'm gonna go ahead and rip that rubber off, and we're going to jump right into Fourth Rope Wrestling. Boom, 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 boom! Alright, I gotta chill. Woo, baby, Fourth Rope, a personal favorite of mine as of late. This is one of the few quote-unquote indies that I can watch without physically revolting these days. Fourth Rope is said to blend hip-hop with wrestling, art, and culture, and it creates a pretty cool vibe. Their series of shows tend to fall under the Heels Have Eyes banner, which is also the name of a Westside Gunn EP. Pretty solid EP too. The roster is made up of a whole lot of talents, and Wes pulled from the likes of TNA, GCW, and even some AEW, while mixing them in with some decent name freelancers. They're actually a partner with a couple of those companies. The likes of the Hardy Boys, Zilla Fatu, Josh Bishop, Nick Nemeth, Joe Hendry, the Good Brothers, Thunder Rosa, and many more have competed for the promotion at some point throughout their first 5 shows. Obviously there's also Enzo Amore, but I'm not going to speak on him, and I'll keep my opinions to myself, because my mama taught me that if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Actually, I do have something kind of nice to say. At least he's always been a good promo. He's also their current flyweight champion because, you know, Fly God. I'm gonna piss so many people off with these little, like, ad-libs that I'm throwing in here, bro. Meanwhile, their current world and tag team champions are Zilla Fatu and the Hardys, respectively. It's kinda crazy just how loaded their roster is, and all the talent they're able to put on every card. There's just something different about it, and it feels like a legitimate show. Wes definitely knows how to put on shows. I don't know if he's the one that books the cards, but I'm gonna assume he does, because I want to have that image of my mind of Westside Gunn in the creative next to Vince Russo. Hey Rue, you ever cook a brick on some white cotton panties? Ball knowledge reference. If you know, you know. The shows tend to create this vibe of a legit underground fighting ring. And I think that's why I personally mess with it so much. There's love and passion put into it, and you can tell they actually like what they're doing, and that it's a passion project rather than a job. As I stated earlier, they've ran 5 shows so far, and those shows are Steel Praying, Heels Have Eyes Atlanta, SXSW, For the Culture, and Pray for Paris. I would go over all of these shows individually, but we'd be here till I turn gray, and I don't think either of us would like that, okay? We're gonna focus on Fourth Rope's biggest show so far, as well as their most recent endeavors appearing on a company you may or may not have heard of, TNA. And speaking of For the Culture, Ayo! One of Fourth Rope's biggest shows they've ran up to this point was their WrestleMania weekend Las Vegas show. It was a calm little show that was an inter-promotional event with GCW. Fuck Joey Janela. He wasn't on the show, but still, freak him. The commentary team consists of Kazim Famuyide, David Otunga, and Ernest the Cat Miller. And you know, it's all about the culture type shit. You know, this was one I really wanted to watch over the WrestleMania weekend, but I never really got around to it until a little bit afterwards. And man, I missed out. Because WrestleMania sucked, but anywho, it's got that underground type of feel, and that setup is dope. The ring looks cool as hell too, but that's just a nerdy thing I wanted to point out. Boom! I pop for that shit every time. They got the Hurt Syndicate out here to be the first talent you see on the show. Holy balls, this was crazy. Wes did one of his ad-libs during the MVP promo and I popped. That opening promo was beautiful. It really gave this feeling of legitimacy. The mix of Fourth Rope and GCW talent made for a good night of graps. While not a technical wrestling masterclass of an evening, everything came together well and gave an authentic form of wrestling. Seeing Tommy Dreamer on a show promoted by Westside Gunn is a sight to see, brother, I tell you what. The Battle Royal was cool, as it was also the longest match on the show, going over 30 minutes. And there was a great mix of talent, and let me name a couple people that I particularly fancy from this match. Kevin Blackwood, Kevin Knight, Sidney Akeem, the former Reggie, Richard Holiday, and some other pretty big names. However, Real One Enzo Amore won the match. Yeah, Wes, I'll give you a pass on the booking side of things because I haven't cooked half a brick in the air fryer yet, so I'll assume Enzo being champion is a good thing. On this show, they also had Chris Bay show up and cut a promo, and he got a huge pop. Such a wholesome moment, bro. And Wes also booked Gabe Kidd vs Matt Riddle. Holy! It would have been a legit banger too, probably, if they had a little bit more time. And speaking of that match, there was a spot where Matt Riddle went and sat in the crowd, and the fan he sat next to wasn't feeling him, so he moved and told Gabe to what I think was fuck him up. Although I can't really read lips, so that's just what I'm gonna assume he said. And Riddle and the fan had a funny little exchange afterwards too. Also during this match, Riddle's chest got busted open. It was pretty okay, honestly, even given the circumstances of not a whole lot of time. And I want to see him run it back, low-key. Again, speaking of the match, I went to rewatch it, and someone made the call of, "Is that Sofia Vergara?" I see you, bro. The finish was kind of mid, but the match wasn't half bad. And the thing that all of the matches on the card suffered from were that they were all kind of short aside from the Battle Royal. The main event was also kind of short. It was a steel cage match between Josh Bishop and Zilla Fatu, and to be honest, that's just a wet dream for me. I love that type of stuff. The match went about 10 minutes, and while I think it should have went longer, they got the most out of what they had. Bishop got color really quick into the match, and they hit each other pretty hard and did some cool ass slams and whatnot. The image of Bishop being bloody as hell is crazy. He looks like a murderer in the best way possible. I'm gonna avoid saying psychopath, because, you know, that's an unfunny comparison, and I'm gonna make the comparison in literally like 5 minutes video time, but whatever. They used the cage as a weapon a good amount of time, and it was a cool little dynamic. The commentary, while not anything super great play-by-play wise, was quite fun, and it felt like three friends just watching wrestling. Side note, Zilla's finish is fucking incredible. The Fourth Rope for the Culture show overall was pretty damn good. It had a whole lot of undercard matches that really didn't go long, but you know, I'll excuse it because it was very late at night. And it's a good introduction for a lot of people who haven't really watched the show before, and it feels like an underground fighting ring where a bunch of people just be betting on the shit. And for Fourth Rope, it was one of their highest peaks so far. However, just recently, they hit an even bigger peak. The biggest moment so far that Fourth Rope has experienced has been their ability to be showcased on TNA's Slammiversary pay-per-view, which, we all know, is one of the biggest American shows of the year. Technically, it was the pre-show, but who really cares? It's the same thing, they were still there. The match was a 6-man tag that featured 3 of the top stars of the Fourth Rope promotion: Zilla Fatu, Real One Enzo Amore, fuck me, and Joshua Bishop. I almost said Joshua Fatu. That wasn't gonna be a good look. But they went to quote-unquote war with Steve Macklin, Mance Warner, and Jake something. The match went 3 minutes and was meant to put the Fourth Rope guys over as legitimate threats. Since TNA and Fourth Rope are partnered, it was a good way for the promotion named by Vince Russo to showcase their good old pals. The Enzo Amore promo went longer than the entire match itself, and when he was talking about Zilla Fatu, he cut the same promo he cut on Jacob in MLW a few years ago now. The Bloodline promo where he talks about Moana and Walmart shoppers, yeah, that one. And in all seriousness, it wasn't that bad though. And I think we've all established that if there's one thing Enzo can do, it's talk. For better or for worse. That boy Zilla looked like he was about to take someone's soul with that face paint on. And it's a good look for him, really. Joshua Bishop really does look like Sid Vicious, by the way. It's kind of crazy. And let me glaze Josh Bishop right quick, for real though. He's really good. That chokeslam he gave Jake something is one of the better chokeslams I've seen in recent memory. He's got so much talent and so much potential, I really think he can blossom into a legit single star. Bishop has a great look, and you could definitely build a company's main event scene around a heel like that. I'd be shocked if he doesn't either find a way to WWE or AEW, or help Fourth Rope build into a legit challenging promotion. He's that good. The match itself was just kind of there, and they didn't really give them a lot of time, and they got a couple big spots in, don't get me wrong. But the match broke down like immediately, and it seems to be an angle to start something between Jake something, no pun intended, and Mance Warner. It's great for Fourth Rope, and I hope this helps them gain a little bit of steam. Wes is building something, and I hope it continues to grow, and I hope he continues to be able to pull talent out of bigger promotions. It's got so much potential to be something great, and be a legit player in the world of indie wrestling. In the SoundCloud era video, I said how we need new companies to show up and save the indie scene, and Fourth Rope could be a part of that. I'm rooting for Fourth Rope personally, because hell yeah, man, Westside Gunn is a national treasure. Boom, 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 boom. Somebody's gonna get super angry at that. Please, fume, get super angry. Please be mad. Anywho, I'm gonna get out of here before I piss y'all off even more with the ad-libs that I love to just throw in randomly. What have we learned today, class? We've learned that Westside Gunn is a better promoter than 95% of, people whose entire job is dedicated to promoting wrestling shows. That's kind of sad, actually. That's kind of sad. I once again hope that Fourth Rope continues to build, because they are one of my favorite promotions right now, and I really think they could be something huge. I may start reviewing some Fourth Rope stuff. I don't really know. But what I do know is I should probably go ahead and bump Still Praying. Who am I kidding? I'm just gonna go listen to Come As You Are. Who am I fooling, bro? I barely even listen to him as it is. Who am I lying to, bro? Anyways, to segue out of this video, that's gonna be all from me, and I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, and if I earned it, I would appreciate it if you left a like on the video, as well as subscribe to the channel. We trying to take over the world and change the world for the better over on this side, so every interaction helps. And you should also join the Discord server, because, you'll gain the ability to talk to women. I know as wrestling fans we tend to struggle with that aspect of things, but the Discord server, by joining that, you gain the ability to do it, and you won't struggle with it anymore. I know how every other Discord server is the complete opposite. Every other Discord server you start saying the word kitten unironically, and you start fishing out money to random e-girls online. But when it comes to my Discord server, you join it, you gain a chiseled jawline, and women just flock to you because you're so cool. The link's on the video, and it's also in the description and in the pinned comment, so join it. I didn't think I'd get this far, but Dame still has me locked in his basement again, so go stream his SoundCloud. Yeah, outside of all that, I think I'm done here. I once again appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Y'all stay safe. God bless.